So I guess you must have questions like, why are you doing this, derp, you low-rated, gap hosting, PD creeping, rock stealing, meme posting trash? And honestly, I don't really know. I think at this point, having just finished making the video, the answer is mutual suffering. So sit back, grab some snacks, put on your favourite tunes, and skip ahead when you literally can't take any more. Hello everybody and welcome back to another special Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever cast. As you know, on this channel we like to showcase the more unusual games, and this is a co-op survival. This is the highest co-op survival rating I have ever seen. All the players are rated around 2k. Now if you haven't seen this game format, this is basically a survival tower defense type game. All 8 players here are on the same team, and they have to defend their tower. This right here, this is Accel Chan. This is your waifu, and for the purposes of this game, you must defend her from the Space Vikings, okay? If Accel Chan here dies, the game is over, and all the players lose. To win the game, they must protect Accel Chan until she reaches 18, which will take about 1 hour of game time. Given the slowdown that happens with the immense amount of units that spawn, that 1 hour in this case was nearly 4 hours of real time as opposed to 1 hour of game time. But I'm hoping my computer isn't going to be that slow. But this might be a very, very long cast. The enemies are going to spawn in waves, and as you can see, this is the first of 18 waves that will spawn. And the first wave is scouts. As you can see, we've got a huge number of spirits, we've got moles, we've got snoops, and they're all coming along this flat terrain here through the trees. And that might not be a problem. You see, you know, a spirit here has 2 DPS. That's not a problem. But when you suddenly have 200 or 300 spirits, that 2 DPS starts to become an issue. And we start seeing 200 or 300 DPS for the wave when they all kind of stack up. So if you look at the way that the AI is moving, they are on attack commands here. They're on attack commands all the way around the accelerator. As the players here are all doing a similar build, we'll introduce them if they manage to survive the first wave. But they are all... I could put the map on for you guys, but honestly, there's really not a lot of point. The map is fairly basic, and it really doesn't show a lot in this kind of format. But they're all opting for land factory first, obviously, a few mass extractors, and they're either rushing a hydro or making PGens, and they're going to be trying to get Tech 1 PD up as fast as they can. And that is because their commanders will not be enough to survive this wave. As you can see here, the Wheelie, or Farmschlet as he's known on Twitch, is taking a lot of damage. He is currently the highest rated player in the world. His global rating is the highest after the 2v2 tournament recently. Currently just beating out Nexus for the top slot. And he is already down into the red, already down to the yellow, sorry, about half health just from the scouts. He's looking in trouble. Over here we've got Blast Shield also in a UEF comm. He's down to 3,000 health, about to dip into the red from scout fire. Tagada, Hachikuji, they're looking a bit better. When Day Breaks is looking alright. Turbo 2 though in that Cybran comm, remember their armor is basically made of paper mache. He's looking in trouble. He's down under 3,000 health. Tagada brings his comm over to help Blast Shield, who's down under 2,000 health now. Throws a little bit of salt in the chat there. We can bring that up here maybe. That would be a nice way of looking at it. Hide this. And they're basically getting wrecked by scouts. Look at the amount of damage. They really need to dodge. He's trying to dodge scout fire. He is dodging quite a few shots there. Turbo 2 is at 1k. The Wheelie is using the factory block. So he's basically using his factory structures here to block and draw fire, which is very smart. That's the old Age of Empires trick. Oh my goodness, Blast Shield under 1,000 health and still taking fire. It looks like he tried to use a factory to deflect some shots there or block the damage, but it hasn't worked. He's still getting primaried by those scouts. Luckily his PD are going to do some real damage on these scouts here. going to kill them in a couple of hits, really. The wheelie down into the red, 2,000 health here. When day breaks, is dropping health real quickly, look. He's dropping almost 1,000 a second before he... 100 a second before he started dodging. Alec here in the white power Seraphim. Not dodging. In fact, he is shooting the ground here. I'm not sure why he is doing that. Excuse me.
I'm kind of retarded.
So, Blast Shield dropped under 1,000 health. 102 kills on his comm already. Hachikuji, and we are already down to -1. I cannot speed the game up any further. That is terrible. Why are we dropped so slow? Because the next wave has spawned. And when the next wave spawned, they all go in a small location and have a little rave, look. I especially like the Fast and the Furious underlighting on the on the Aeon tanks here. They're pounding that base out. So the first wave has still not been killed here. Look at this Mantis, 32 kill Mantis. What an absolute Chad Mantis that is. Have you ever seen a Mantis with that many kills? I have not. And now their objective is to reclaim as much as possible, and it looks like that build-wise, they are all doing a factory, Tech 2 factory rush by the looks of things. Yeah, it looks like that's probably the optimum build here to try to get Tech 2 PD as quickly as possible. There is some reclaim, but I think a lot of the reclaim here is not high enough to register on the reclaim show just yet. Maybe that's a bad choice having it up there. So they have got P-gens. A couple of these scouts actually survived. This mole here is busy smoking, as is this one. But the second wave is about to arrive. And it's absolutely worth mentioning that these players are playing without mods, okay? Most people, when they try this challenge, they play it on a medium difficulty. They put on extra mods for things like build range and defense health and resources, extra money, or vampire mass from things that you kill, so it gets transferred to you. But that is not the case here. These guys are playing absolutely 100% vanilla. They are only using the default units. There's no Black Ops mods here. There's no experimental shields here. There's no Extreme Wars units or Gatling artillery or anything wild like that. They're just using the default, just the default units. And as you can see, strikers are absolutely deadly compared to those scouts. They have a much higher damage, and this looks like the wheelie has put a lot of thought into this defense. He is going mass Tech 1 cannon behind factories. The factories are blocking the shots. That is big brain. That is a pro gamer move. And Mazanoob is doing essentially the same thing here, and I assume that's going to work until Tech 1 artillery arrives. I don't know when Tech 1 artillery will arrive, but I assume it will be soon. Alec is taking quite a bit of damage here. Who else is in trouble? Well, Tagada is on the front line too. Obviously, there's not enough power for any of them to have researched gun yet, but gun would be extremely helpful in this kind of situation. One overcharge here would be devastating. They do desperately need energy storages for that. But Hachikuji's base, well, he is in trouble. His base is getting attacked by mech marines here. And if the hydro goes up, it will kill some engineers from the explosion. Remember that power and mass generating structures in FAF create explosions. They are like the explosive barrels in a first-person shooter. Hachikuji in trouble. His comm down to 1,400 health. And the huge wave of tanks and Mantis just streams in. There is no PD here. Just one. They're building Tech 2 power. I think the top half is in real trouble. They need to bring their comms north. Blast Shield has recovered. He's got 136 kills, 2-star vet. And the reclaim is starting. That's what you want to be doing. Look at that reclaim. Hachikuji is in trouble. He's down to 1,000 health. That's a lot of tanks. Remember, in fact, a commander is only worth 20 tanks, and there's basically 20 tanks here. 500 health, 400 health, 200, 100. Hachikuji, no! He's died to the second wave. Oh my god. Just so you're not thinking this is too easy, and I guess he's just, yeah, that was, he's just showing everybody that it's not actually an easy challenge. For all you watchers who look at the survival games and think, oh, I can do that. This one, I think, is genuinely difficult. That's wild. PDs, well, we're talking 30 kills on all these PDs. Absolute filth. And the third wave has spawned. And we've got frigates as well. There's oh no. Are these in range? No, not yet. There's gonna be, there's gonna be cruisers. There's gonna be destroyers. The Cyber destroyers. Oh my god. They've only got Tech 1 PD. So they have about, what, 20 seconds before they start getting absolutely wrecked by Tech 1 arties, look. That's all the time that they've got before they start getting wrecked. They desperately need Tech 2 PD. There's only Tech 1 PD here, a few Cerberus turrets, and that's it. Cerberus turrets going up en masse for Turbo. Tagada already has a large number of Cerberus turrets. What a chad. Cerberus turrets going up for Blast Shield. No 2-2 PD up here for Mazer Noob. That's questionable. It looks like Hachikuji is still in the game, so losing your commander does not lose the game. Only losing Accelerator Chan here, look. It's only if she dies, the game is lost. But the first wave are here, and these are the explosive bombs, the fire beetles. And what's terrible is that they are going to be deleting the reclaim when they explode, look. Luckily, the Cerberus turrets can pick them off. That one deleted all the reclaim. That is brutal. And if you are wondering why these players are not using, say, the Seraphim or the UEF turrets, the answer here is actually that, or the Aeon ones. The Aeon ones are probably the worst for it. The answer is that against fast units like this, and particularly when you're dependent on reclaim, the Cerberus turret is actually the best PD. A little known fact about the Cerberus turret is that it doesn't actually destroy the reclaim when it fires. Other PD turrets actually overkill because they use a little AoE blast, and they often remove the reclaim, whereas Cerberus turrets do not remove the reclaim. So they're actually much better. You will get more mass reclaimed using Cerberus turrets than you would... it looks like there's... The beach here is preventing... They will need a different type of PD to fire over that. Remember, in Forged Alliance, all of the shots are simulated. They all have bullet drop. So trajectory and velocity makes a big impact on how your projectiles work. And this is probably what we're going to see for the next... well, 50 minutes, realistically. It's a huge amount of just fire coming out of these bases towards an ever-encroaching swarm. Oh, this fire beetle gets in here. Half damages the factories. That's not good. And the wheelie could be in trouble here. There are bombs. There's units. Nice to see Hachikuji making those Tech 2 PDs to support his ally here. Lots of reclaiming going on. And how are we doing for mass? Well, the wheelie and... well, this is actually reclaim. I think the wheelie might be top of actual reclaim, of actual mass. He's using hives, and he's using hives to boost his mexes here. And his factories are all doing reclaim orders, by the looks of things. Very smart, using that bigger reclaim range. When Daybreaks is working on a T3 power, with minimum defenses here. Just a big bank of Cerberus turrets in the middle, no walls. Oh, that should remind me, I should mention walls. So in survival games, if you're wondering why these Tech 1 PDs are not surrounded by walls, it's because walls are disabled in survival games. You are not allowed to make walls in survival games because it messes with the pathfinding a little bit too much. Walls are immensely strong and very underutilized in this game. And if you get someone who knows how to abuse walls, then what? A little get shields and mongoose. Actually, mongoose isn't a bad idea, but the grenades will definitely delete some reclaim. Look at that, some buildings being lost here. Oh no, he's reclaiming them. Okay, reclaiming Tech 1 PD for Tech 2 PD, that's pretty smart. This, on the other hand, is really bad. Maze Noob, lowest rated player in the game at 1700, is getting absolutely wrecked here by these Medusas and Lobos and Zuis. That attack move is just very, very strong. But they are going to clean up this third wave, so they have survived. Wait, wave set 7? Holy balls. So they have survived that wave. Accelerator Chan has not lost any health. Don't walk too close to the giant frigate ball. Look at that. What a clusterfuck of frigates right here. They're all inside each other. It's a frigate orgy. He lost about 4,000 health from just walking too close there. And this is a problem too. He's going to have to dodge basically textbook here. He's going to have to do some great dodging. Oh, he will just lose his comm. Under 1,000 health here, Maze Noob. Basically dodging to survive. Need to keep an eye out on him. And the third wave has spawned. And it's Tech 2 tanks. And another load of, this time it's going to be subs in the Navy. Yeah, just Tech 2, we got Tech 2 tanks, we got pillars, blazes, and probably the most horrific one to deal with out of these is going to be the chicken. The chicken is just absolutely brutal. Oh no, actually I forgot about the obsidian, they're even worse because of the shield. So yeah, obsidians and mini chickens there, they are going to be very hard to deal with. And Maze Noob down to 400 health. 300 health. He's only just cleaning up these Tech 1 units, and there's a huge wall of Tech 2 tanks incoming. Surely he's doomed here. He's trying to rebuild his Tech 1 factories. All his mexes are... Okay, so he has half T2 mexes. He does have a hive. Repairing his hydro. What is his mass doing? Well, he's actually nearly full bar. And if we look on their view, by the way, they can basically see almost everything because of the vision that Accelerator Chan here is giving. So they're looking for T3P gens. They actually do have one already. And they've got shields up here from When Day Break. So he is going shields. And he has managed to get the PD close enough that they will fire over. So they're going to be racking up kills on that Navy that can't shoot back. Down here, well, Blast Shield is back up to full health, basically. He's got a lot of PD, and he's using the glorious UEF chonky turrets here. The Triad. But they do delete the reclaim. Much more reclaim left by these Tech 2 tanks. 30,000 reclaim on the map to be had just from this wave. That's a lot of Cerberus turrets. So Cerberus and Triads are the order of the day. Look at the huge waves of them. But it's going to delete the... look at it delete the reclaim. That's why they're not as valued. You need that reclaim to survive. So if you're deleting the reclaim like that, then no, don't delete the reclaim. Then you're going to have less money to work with. And what is happening? How has Mazenoob managed to survive? Well, he is overcharging. Does he have gun? No, he doesn't. Overcharge is pretty strong against these Tech 2 tanks, but I don't know how he's going to survive this one. I just don't see it. Maybe the others will be able to fire backwards when they're finished killing their own units. We do have mobile shields, so I think that's very, very strong. Mobile shields instead of standard shields. This is also pretty good. It covers a huge area. We look at the kills on some of these turrets. 30 kills on these. Absolutely savage. Yeah, where the Cerberus turrets are killing, the mass is not lost. So you shouldn't write out. You should not see no mass lost even when they're shooting around where the wrecks are. Should not count out Cerberus turrets. They are still very useful. Oh no. Poor Mazenoob. He's in real trouble. But that is all of this wave. And we are down to -1. This game instantly not being played on the FAF develop toolkit. If you I'll put a thing up on the screen of how to play FAF develop, but basically just from the main menu, go here, select FAF develop, and then create your game as normal. It will still be ranked for multiplayer. You still get your points. Do not worry. But there's a whole bunch of changes to the way that the game does some of the visuals and the calculations, and that makes the game run quite a bit quicker. We could probably be running this at maybe +1 or even +2 if we were on the FAF develop toolkit. It was very impressive in the last game how much it managed to speed things up and reduce that calculation slowdown. Because remember, this is a full simulation. Every single shot is being simulated. So that does tend to slow the game down. Oh, Mazenoob, he's losing his factories now. Tech 1 PD being spammed, but Tech 1 PD against Yenzines and mini chickens is not strong. This bank will definitely help. That can delete things pretty quick. But even then, look, it's taking quite a while to kill the mini chickens. This top side is definitely looking like the weak link for now. Tagada, on the other hand, is building out. He's basically going towards the opponents. Tagada saying to control Thurston Waffles here in the chat. We have the emoji mod on. Delete the first row of factories and move them forwards. That is very sensible. Basically leapfrogging your base forwards. The game slowed it down to -2. Why is that? Well, because the third wave has spawned. Another wave, and this time we've got rocket bots, shields, and beetles. So these are much longer range, and on attack mode, that's very dangerous. So these will outrange any Tech 1 PD. So if you were still using Tech 1 PD right now, you'd be in serious trouble. Worse than that, though, is this. The absolutely deadly Aeon destroyers with their ridiculous cannon range. Plus the Cybran destroyer there. Absolute filth. I wonder if it will walk on land. They might just get up and start walking, those Cybran ones. They may well do. Whether these will surface or not, I don't know. They might not surface. And given their low profile in the water as basically killers, like ship killers, they might not actually be able to fire up there. Their weapons might not be ideal for that. Mazenoob going for a Tech 2 upgrade on his comm whilst his base gets absolutely shredded here. The other players have basically built out. Then maybe these two can move almost round and start coming this way. But I think these bases are going to be in real trouble attack move the phobos to kill the frigates. So attack moving Tech 1 artilleries to kill frigates is a good idea, but it will be utterly useless once the destroyers arrive. And Alec asks if he should go T4, whereas Blast Chills basically notices the destroyers arriving. And look how desperate this situation looks. The world's fastest T2 upgrade, look. Remember, this is at -2. That was like a 5-second Tech 2 upgrade. 30 seconds is that for T3. And I think they really start I mean, the moment T3 units spawn, that Tech 2 PD is going to be basically useless. They're going to need to go move to Ravagers as soon as possible. And then probably, once they have Ravagers, they're going to need to move to Fat Boys and Crabs to deal with the Tech 3 mobile RT. But when the units start clumping up like this, their DPS gets really, really impressive. You want them to be streaming like this one at a time, because then your turrets can kind of focus them down. If they ever get time to clump up like this, you get in real trouble real quickly. Because of the DPS of this is huge. Especially with no shields. I feel like a shield here would be really good, just temporarily. And here comes the destroyer fire. With that big high arc into the shields up there. That is, there's really nothing they can do about that for now. Maybe a big bank of Tech 2 artillery, but where are they going to get the... Oh, they are doing that. They are doing Tech 2 artillery and shields, but building shields under destroyer fire is extremely difficult. Especially once the Aeon ships start arriving. I don't know how they're going to survive this. Just more and more arty? And try to focus the destroyers, but there's so many destroyers. There's like 20 destroyers already. And they're losing core mexes. The shields can't hold. Alec and Wende breaks here. Yes, I know they have other names in the game, but for the people watching on the YouTubes who aren't that familiar, we will just use the names that they use in-game rather than their previous names or their name history or what other people know them as. It just makes things a lot easier. And they're thinking about using absolvers for the shields. Look at the mobile shield spam. And the shields seem to be stopping just where the units are stopping to fire. That's absolutely disgusting. Because that means they have, instead of the shields just walking in and dying, the shields are like clumping up where the units are, just like you would want to micro them. And we are down to -3 here in this game. Look at the mess. Poor Mazanoob has almost nothing left. And this base looks doomed as well. Wende Breaks has lost a lot of health. He's trying to spam shields. He's at Tech 3, but the shield just keeps dying. He just literally cannot get... He just can't get it up, boys. He just can't get it up. That's a bit of a mistake there. Trying to build on the... You could build on the wreck for double speed, but probably trying to micro other things. It happens. It happens. Is this Seaton's mid, says when day breaks. Oh, a bomb gets through here. It's definitely going to take something out. It's not, it's just being left. Excuse me? Boom. Blows up a Tech 2 engineer there. And this right side is just collapsing. What are we working on? Well, we're working on a spider. Tagada is going to come to the rescue here, I think. And that is desperately needed. The spider will still be really effective against Tech 2 units. But the problem is with the spider is that if you go too near to the destroyers, I mean, the destroyers are just going to wreck you. Oh, not the Aeon destroyers. I think they need a big bank of hives assisting the comm, but there's probably not enough mass for him to build the shields fast enough. Taggart are wondering if they can make a Paragon. Well, maybe they could, but they don't have an Aeon on the team, so that's a hard nope. So Taggart has completed his spider, and 19 minutes would be fairly quick timing for a spider in a team game, really. It's where you start to expect them coming out. Most people can rush a spider in 20 minutes or so. If it's really rushed by cutting T3 mexes, you can probably see them around... Ooh. 15 or 16 minutes, I'd say, in a team game. Off of, like, 8 mexes. You can probably get a spider out 16 minutes. By going hives and then getting, like, 1 T3 mex. Yeah, probably around that. And the spider looks like it might save Mazonoob's comm, who is almost certainly about to die if he doesn't get assistance. And the destroyers are walking. Oh god. That's absolutely terrible. I was kind of hoping that they would stay in the... Look at the little beetles. I was kind of hoping that the destroyers would stay in the sea. And I think that's... Is that when day breaks? His comm just blew up there. I didn't see what he died to. He got killed by a destroyer. And Alec dies as well. Gets wrecked by the destroyers. They've crawled out and he's got no... It looks like Mazonoob is doomed. He's gonna sacrifice himself to kill some of the units. And we have lost 4 comms now at 20 minutes. There's only 40 minutes to go, guys. No big deal. It's fine. It's fine.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
And obviously, things are looking absolutely fine. There's no problems here. It's all fine. So, time to spawn the next lot of units. In come the Loyalists and the Titans. And in comes another round of purely destroyers. Absolute filth. And I feel like if the spider goes too close to the Navy, it might just die. The arty is being effective by the looks of things, but not for long. There's just too much damage coming in and not enough shielding on them for them to survive. So I have been tinkering with some audio settings. I know there's a complaint about the audio is not great. I've been tinkering with a lot of settings and filters in OBS to try to get this to work. Whether that will make a big difference, you will have to let me know. But some of you have been extremely kind and absolutely not something I expected at all, but people have basically been donating to get me a better microphone. So one is coming. I will definitely be ordering one very soon. It's very kind of you. I did not expect it at all, so thank you very much. You know who you are. Not the best defense here. The Beetles still coming. And I think the T3 power is eventually going to go down here. The Aeon Destroyers are just too strong. There's nothing that can keep that out. And we might see a complete collapse of the top side. Oh, Beetle. The Monkey Lord is going to farm Vet pretty quick. And the Wheelie has moved up to Ravagers, as you might expect, that T3 point defense here. And they are definitely required versus the Titans. But they are going to delete a lot of the reclaim. Yeah, they're just deleting so much of it. Things are looking a little bit desperate, I have to say. With the units clumping up, they might be able to use AoE. I think that's the only thing you can really do in this kind of game, is to maximize damage from area of effect. The same way that you would use Blizzard in World of Warcraft to kill like 1,000 mobs at the same time. I think that's really the only option that you've got in this, because you just can't fight that amount of mass one-to-one. And I think the ultimate AoE effect weapon here is probably nukes. And if anything, the YOLO. I do feel like the YOLO would be extremely strong here. That spider has been very effective. It's down to half health, but very effective. 35 health currently. Now on 60 regen, so that veterancy there doubled its regen from 30 to 60. He does need to be careful not to get it killed. Crab coming as well. Lots of PD and reclaiming, but this is fairly stable. The bottom players here, Tagada, Turbo, and the Wheelie are fairly stable. Look at this factory spam, protecting and reclaiming. This is like the ultimate walls in Age of Empires. If you see someone who's a wall spammer, this is what it's like. These lovely SimCity bases. I love it. Just deleting the Titans and the Loyalists as they walk in one by one. But the top is basically collapsing. The only thing holding it together right now is the left side and experimentals from Tagada. That's all that they've got to basically defend. And spiders aren't really that good versus mass T3. Titans will actually kill a spider. Obviously not if they're in small numbers one by one like that, but if they ever get the chance to clump up, the spider is in trouble. And we've just dropped to -3. Is there a new wave? No. Yeah, that's just the speed that the game can handle. There's just so many units on the screen all moving around. Why these boys are stopping here in attack range? Maybe because their target has lost? But I don't think this will last long. Navy is just so much more brutal. What do you do with this? I mean, how can you possibly deal with this many destroyers? What's what, like 5, 10, 15, 20... 25, 30, 35, 40, 40. Like, we're looking at nearly 50 destroyers. What can you possibly do against that? And the range of the destroyers is really high as well. Did the spider die? No, it didn't. But the destroyers will probably kill it. They outrange it. So we're at 23 minutes of... Basically, the objective is to survive for 1 hour. And it's looking... I mean, they're actually taking damage on the accelerator. That bomb actually just blew up on it. Like, things are looking... I think things are looking pretty damn terrible right now. Within a couple of minutes, those destroyers will be in range of the objective. I think Tagada and the Wheelie are going to have to start defending behind as well as in front, or they're going to basically just die. Even Alec and Wende Breaks up here, who were otherwise playing very strong, just got absolutely rinsed by that Navy. So Tagada is making what, drones? I assume they're playing with no air mods. Yeah, they're probably playing with no air. Survival maps almost never have... I mean, some do actually have air, but I guess air is disabled in this one. It's just a meat grinder. So Tagada is going to start making Rambo ACUs. And actually, yeah, that might be another really good plan. The regen aura ATU would be very strong when you put it next to the experimentals. This crab is basically all that's standing in between these units and the accelerator. And it doesn't matter that these units would eventually win. It's just they're out of time. They're just out of time. The Titans are just... and Loyalists are just too strong. Wait, did they just lose this here? I thought people said this was going to be a good replay. Well, the Ravagers are basically turning around to fire backwards now. That's how bad it's gotten. The Destroyers are just... they're just coming. Do you think you can win this? YouTube viewers, are you a sick, rad, gnarly... oh my god, the T3 is here. Percivals, Tech 3 shields, and Harbs. They're doomed. Do you think you can win this? Can anybody win this? How would you do this? Let me know, because I don't see a way. Maybe rushing... oh, I don't know. Rush Aragon and then YOLO? You have to have a way to clear this. You have to have a way to clear this. You can't... I mean, you can't do nukes on spawn because there's so many spawns. There's like 40 spawns. And Accelerator Chan is taking damage. It actually says in the corner, you can see it's got 0 health, but it's got 0 health regen. But I can see its health going up, so that's clearly a fucking lie. Excuse me, map creator, what are you doing? I'm not sure if they can live through this. The spider is, like, badly wounded. It's reached max fate. 135 health a second regen it's got. So the Salem's, the Cybran Destroyers here, they actually are probably pretty easy targets for the... They're probably pretty good targets for the crabs, because they're pretty big. Boop. You just go around deleting them, I guess. Yeah. The crabs are just going to delete the Salems, which is pretty smart. But the accelerator is taking damage. Down at the bottom, well, it's an absolute crush. The Ravagers here are absolutely filthy. The damage, just disgusting. Nothing's even getting close. So Turbo has also completed a crab. So we've got 4 crabs. 4 crabs and a spider. Soon to be 5 crabs. But all of these units are just going to start funneling down and into the accelerator. There's a Fat Boy up. Now that is a good choice. Not only can you abuse the range against T3 units, but you could actually put them here. Put the Fat Boys here to protect the accelerator. That would be a pretty good plan. How much reclaim? A small 300,000. Antagonist starts asking, when does he need to make SMDs? And I would say now, but I think they need to protect the accelerator for a few more minutes until they can actually get something. Tagger says he's waiting for summits. Now, if Tagada is right, and they've obviously not played this before, right? If they're waiting for a unit and they don't know if it's coming or not, I feel like if the UEF battleships start spawning, I mean, these mexes here are easily in range of the summit if it just sits in the bay. So there's basically nothing you can do about that. And they do so much damage. The summits are just disgusting. Wait, what if the Sea Donut, what if the Tempest spawns? That'll be even worse than the summit. And the cruisers have arrived. Oh god. So, yeah. UEF and Seraphim cruisers with that long-range tactical missile spam. And they are just right-clicking the accelerator here. Some loyalists might actually be a good call. They would actually at least shield TMD. They are spamming TMD around the accelerator, which is a good call. But there's enough experimentals here to kind of ward off, I think, the T3 units. At least for now. What is the wheelie up to? Well, he's just expanding his factory grid here. Imagine if they start using Billy Nukes. Oh my god. Billy Nuke would actually be pretty good. The only problem is if you fire it and you accidentally fire it into a loyalist, like this, it's going to come right back at your face. Tagada says that they are still holding. And that is right. Only just, though. The accelerator is basically a half health. This is pretty desperate stuff. There's a huge bank of artillery here, and they're all facing different ways, look. Look at this mess. What the fuck? When do you ever see this in a normal game? They're all just pointed all over the place. Lol. Fast as fuck, boy! Spamming fat boys, I think, is a good long-term solution. But, on the other hand, it's not going to last forever, right? It's good against T3, but you have to remember that experimentals are going to start spawning soon. And when they do, the fat boys aren't going to be that strong. Oh boy. So yeah, the spearheads are up. So spearheads are going to sit outside of the Ravager range. And they're going to basically missile all the buildings, look. So you need a new row of TMD defense. And then you need the fat boys to target all of the spearheads. You can just see them sitting around launching those missiles. Absolute filth. We do have some basic shields up now protecting the accelerator, which is slowly regenning health. Maybe 50? I think it's 100 health a second if we look at how quick the clock is going and the health. And there with another the next has spawned, the next wave, and it's just another T3 wave, so no real change to the units in this wave. A lot of cruisers though. A lot of cruisers. This is really a couple of TMD waves. -4. Oh my god, how long is this game going to go on my computer? Jesus Christ. The fat boys could do an absolute number on this. But he can't really afford to lose them. Any DPS there. I mean, he's even using the side guns. Really, all the DPS they've got is required. So that next wave contains sniper bots. Yeah. Sniper bots to do long range damage, bricks and Percivals, and Othams and shields to tank. Absolutely brutal. This is going to look pretty, it's going to look kind of pretty when I play it at like 10,000 times speed though, right? It's just going to look an amazingly pretty starfish. The units here looking like a big shield, or possibly a Transformers icon. Oh, this crab looks like it might just die. Sitting in TMD fire. They do need to go and kill the Salems, that's correct. RIP. That's a giant F for this crap. A nuke has been completed and it's being rushed. What is the range on Aeon destroyers? Too fucking much, that's what the range is. They can definitely hit the mech grid on the top. The Aeon destroyer has the same range as the Neptune, the T3 battlecruiser. We've got double nuke. So Taggart are also going for a nuke, and I think that's very smart. If they can use those cleverly to like blow holes in the opponent, in the enemies, they'll be able to focus the rest of their guns on where the holes aren't. questionable spider here. Excuse me, would you like to kill the brick? It's okay, he's got 285 kills, he's getting old. A lot of TMD and shield spammed up, that's very sensible. So can they shield creep with the crabs and buy a little bit of space back? That's the question. Whilst they buy time for the nukes to land. Oh boy, we're an hour into the game. Time to run a commercial break.
Get ready to raid. Raid Shadow Legends.
Just kidding. This is shit. Don't ever play it. So have they beat the previous record? It's pretty easy. LOL. So apparently this game's easy. Can any of you fine viewers on YouTube crush their record? We will see. Of course, if they do fail, it will look pretty funny that they've been chatting shit about the challenge. Yeah, the Ravagers are just doing great work against all these T3 units. And the Fat Boy's actually doing good damage against the Navy, although the amount of shield boats is absolutely disgusting. The Fat Boy's trying to pick off the mobile missile launchers. The Wheelie says he has 50 Tech 2 arties, and looking at this, I kind of believe him. He's also got a very large number of Ravagers. Next wave, well, we have... I don't see any T3 arty here. But you have to assume that T3 arty is coming. Another crab. So buy time for the nukes and use the nukes to get rid of the cruisers, I think is the plan here. Blast Shield wants to make a P-Gen, but he can't because there's no space for it. He would have to make it here, I guess, and then more shields and Ravagers. I think they could definitely delete some of these shit factories and make some more P-Gens. That would help. Look at the desperate situation with the missile defense. Talk about a stressful job being a TMD in this map. Just a constant stream of them. And they have now made it halfway through the challenge. Now, I don't remember. I don't think this map has ever been completed before. Now, planning to nuke this is pretty sensible because getting rid of these cruisers is what they really need. That, I think, is the threat right now. If they could not have to build so much TMD, this could be other things. This could be shields and Ravagers.
Strategic launch detected.
Okay, so first nuke is out. And he's going... Hard to see right now. The game is running so slowly. So he's going for the left side up here. Remember, they only really want to kill the shields. The actual destroyers and that aren't the real disaster problem. That did kill quite a few, but Tagada don't think they can win because of nukes and T3 spam. I think things have stabilized. They're looking nowhere near as bad as they were a minute ago. You have to remember that things were looking absolutely goddamn disastrous only a couple of minutes ago.
Strategic launch detected.
Now there's a way to hit back and clear the field, as it were. And what have we got on the next wave? What is Tagada doing with this nuke? Apparently it's not a popular spot. He's nuking here. I mean, he's going to kill a lot. We can see how much... so this one did 63,000 mass. How much is this one going to get? Yeah, you guys, if you're going to play survival, you really should have played with the sim speed mod on the FAF develop kit. Honestly, look at that. And obviously the ball is down into the ocean as well as above it. Oh, that's a pretty big oof there. 233 mass killed. And not only are they making progress, but they have shield creep, and they've got the TMD, and they have protected Accelerator Chan here. I'm not sure if you realised, but we're lacking 4 players. That is true, there are only 4 players left. We have, in Combat Green, we've got the Wheelie, or Chad Grey, if you want to see it like that. In Spicy, I Hate Sand Orange, we've got Turbo too. This should be the Spice. The Spice Orange. In Blood Angels Red, we've got Tagada and Vegetable Green. Eat your vegetables, they are good for you. It's Blast Chilled. They are the only players left in this game. Everyone else is dead. I'm not sure how they were really supposed to survive with all 8 players. But they've got 4, so they're just going to 4-man the rest of the challenge. Blast Chill says his base is a disease. I mean, it's not the prettiest base I've ever seen, that's for sure. But it does seem to be working currently. The next wave is... it's actually just more of the same, T3, so... no significant change, and I think that it's going to buy them more time to make extra experimentals. Particularly on the right hand side, things are looking very strong with all these fat boys. The Wheelie hasn't really made any changes. His setup is just working as is, right? Factory spam, Ravagers. That's it. His plan is basically working. He hasn't needed to mix in those experimentals. At least not yet. On the top, a lot of crabs and a lot of fat boys. Is the spider still alive? Yes, it is. One more nuke here, I would say, would do some good damage. But this is when you're like thinking, oh god, you look and there's like another lines of 6 or 7 cruisers coming in. So where is Blast Chilled's comm? Is he still in the game? No, he's here. And he is... he's just going to die. He's had enough of the game. I think the depression has got to him, but you have to remember at 33 minutes, what we are seeing here, they have probably been playing for nearly 2 hours, I would say. And they're just working on the nukes. I feel like more nukes. Just get that YOLO. I think the YOLO is the solution because it fires so quickly and it has more damage and that bigger range. It costs the same as what, 6 crabs? So potentially, oh, shield bubble boys. That is even bigger brain. The big shield bubbles with 150 regen protecting the crabs, but nothing is going to protect the crabs from that amount of destroyer fire. That's just, you just can't do anything about that. The amount of cancer ships here. Absolute filth. And look at that, they've even managed to be able to come back from the brink of death to start taking these mexes, which are upgrading. Turbo and Tagada trying to take back mexes. Really powering the expansion there. That nuke nearly done. We have a perfect ring of reclaim. Look at that. That is so pretty. Glorious. I love it. Maybe we should... There we go. Oh, this is the timer was in the corner. It's ticking down, look. So they only have to survive 25 more minutes. So yeah, it's an hour as we thought. So 25 minutes more to survive. This is wave 13 of 18. Alec asks, where do you see that? On the objective. Imagine not looking at the objective. You can ask Accelerator Chan what wave it's at and she will tell you.
Strategic launch detected.
So another nuke launch here. That's going to pick up quite a lot. Blast, get Billy. Yeah, actually Billy would have been even better. Sabotaging the expedition. His explosion will kill some reclaim, that's true. He is reclaiming the rocks, look. The rocks, sorry, they're probably Percival's. Yeah, he's reclaiming Percival's. Another huge hole blown in there. This is a slightly questionable nuke, but I guess it's still the best spot. And yeah, poor Blast Shield just died. He's got nothing left anyway. Not anymore. Tagada takes over the base. And this is now being 3-manned. There's basically just 3 players in it. Alec, do you still have a comm? No, he doesn't. He's dead. So it's really just Tagada, Turbo, and the wheelie. That's all that's left. Do they have Aeon? No, they don't. And I don't think they have Seraphim anymore. That is a big problem. That means they're definitely not going to get YOLO. And without YOLO, they've only got one option really, and that is to just start producing as many crabs as they can. So I think over the last few minutes, if anything, their base has actually expanded rather than contracted. They are doing better. Those nukes have been really helpful. But without the Seraphim tech, they seem to have lost Seraphim. And that means no YOLO. They've got Seraphim shields. Oh yeah, they killed off the units and now the cruisers have actually moved into the gap. That's pretty painful. Yeah, the missile spam, just brutal at that, at dealing with crabs like that. There's just so many of them. Well, the factories are being deleted and the Ravagers are expanding, so they've got that going for them. The factory wall is actually wrecking the AI. Look, they're just getting confused. What is going on inside your head? It's just going for an engineer. Tagada is ruining the experience, so I assume they're actually doing worse than -4. Another T3 wave. Ah. That's actually worse. So it's only T3 units, but, and it's a big but, on the naval side of things, there are now Tech 3 Navy. We have Torrent missile ships. There are strategic missile subs. There's battle cruisers. Oh dear. The nuke subs are a big problem. Are they also building nukes? It doesn't look like it. But that's going to be a whole new different level of missile spam. If you thought these cruisers were bad, target priority for spearheads. Yeah, otherwise you're going to have to manually click them with the Fat Boy to kill the snipers and the spearheads. Why are we here? Just to suffer. 23 minutes remain. How much reclaim? Well, a lovely little ring there. A small 260, so actually less than there was before. And that's probably due to the Fat Boys and the Ravagers deleting the reclaim. So the anti-nukes have started. Turbo is working on the anti-nuke. How many anti-nukes will they need? I don't know, but in some survival maps you can need a lot of anti-nukes. You can need like 10 of them at least. It will just start spam loot launching nukes at you at the end of the game. Now the shield creep is working, but it's kind of slowed. And I'm not sure if this move is smart. It is going to happen before the T3 arrives, so, I mean, that's technically good. But the damage is going to be pretty heavy that they're going to take. Oh. On those clumped up units, though, the amount of damage is...
Strategic launch detected.
A nuke out here. Slightly questionable nuke. I guess it's to get rid of the cruiser missiles. But there is a lot of units. All the sniper bots down here. They're looking pretty strong, actually. Our players now. There's a lot of crabs. They're all kind of microed about to dodge fire. I think they're going to lose some of these though. They just do so much damage. Another nuke blows away a hole in the Navy. How much mass killed are we looking at? 300k and 300k. So despite the nuke placings, there's actually only, what, 10k mass in it at the end of the day between the two nuke launchers. So arguably the nukes have been of equal value, although if they're not killing the targets that are actually a threat, the mass doesn't really matter. No crabs lost yet, which is kind of surprising. The Bubble Boy is doing pretty well. I just wish there was a way to speed it up. We're at -3 right now. Things are going so slow that I can almost read the writing on the side of the damn missile as it flies past. Holy balls. This spearhead is not doing its job. It's just sitting here and it's holding up traffic, look. The one behind is doing its job, but this one, apparently, you are getting fired tomorrow when your boss watches this video. You're holding up the Otham and you're just sitting here doing nothing. You're causing a big traffic jam. Oh dear. So these missiles are a big problem. They take 2 hits to stop, I think, because these are regular attacks. Yeah, these are like from a attack launcher. So they take a couple of hits to stop. Are they all building nukes? If these are all building nukes, like, the game is over. But I don't think they are. But how many nuke subs have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Probably able to assume that it's the same on both sides. So probably 35 nuke subs. Don't ever kill Navy so the T3 ships get stuck super far away. That may actually work. Because these Neptunes here, they don't look like they're in range of anything, but there's no way the crabs will be able to come out again with these here. They just do too much damage. Neptunes are very strong. And if the battleships start showing up, I mean... You know what I actually need? I need a better computer for this. Holy balls. -4. Please play these games on the FAF develop options. Let's look at the reclaim for all our players. Well, Turbo is doing the best. Blast Shield was actually pretty far ahead till he left. We had Turbo, Tagada and the Wheelie all on similar amounts. But Turbo is ahead. And they're all basically doing this, they're all doing both sides now. It literally looks like it's just a rainy day here, look. It's just a rainy day. Oh, the rain's being blown this way a bit. Don't worry though, it's just a rain. It's always rainy in this base, look. The reclaim is brutal. All the Tech 1 factories being spammed. Mass Rastboy spam from Tagada. That first anti-nuke is really done, nearly done, and it feels like he built that about 20 million years ago. I may have actually gotten grey hair and died by the time this replay finishes. Maybe I'll put a skip towards the end, though not everyone has to suffer as I have suffered. More Neptunes coming in and torrents, but the torrents are kind of stuck. Navy is one of those things where the ships are so big that the units do occasionally get stuck if they're in a tight space. Obviously some of them can just spam missiles anyway. Their shields are so strong. 10,000 shields that they have each. It's so much. And they have high regen as well. Very strong unit. So let's look at the range of the SMD here. That is the range. So it does protect basically everything. I'm pretty sure that the nukes will be targeted straight at the accelerator, or at least in line with the other. Oh, they might actually be outside it. It would be possible to edge nuke if they did that. Let's get rid of those. So yeah, one anti-nuke If they are targeted here, they will actually edge nuke the crabs. That could be devastating. The attack commands do not change. They're still here in this area. Thank goodness these Neptunes can't actually hit anything because all these bases are already destroyed.
Launch detected.
Nuke going for the torrents. I suspect when the torrents are dead, they're going to realise that the silencers and the other nuke subs are still here. The wheelie says he's losing ground. Well, he's just losing factories, to be fair. Just mainly sniper bots. And the wheelie is actually now probably the smallest player. He was definitely the largest player early on. The units are getting very, very close to his base. I wonder if the time to just... the UEF time that it takes to retarget and then start firing is just so long that it doesn't work out for their range. Or maybe he's just built so many factories that the enemies are for a long way away.
Strategic launch detected.
So this is going to kill the torrents out here, I think. The torrents are a major threat. How many is he going to get? Well, he does get all 5 of the torrents there. So there's a nuke coming here. I'm not sure if that's worth it. I feel like that's just going to delete the reclaim. The only reason they're alive is because they're outside the range of all the Ravagers. I mean, collecting those up in a big ball might actually be good because it's going to prevent more units from coming. And speaking of more units coming, we have this is a Tech 3 mobile arty wave. How many units will die here? The Tech 3 mobile arties have arrived. Look at the slowdown. Absolutely disgusting. Look how small the nuke blast is. What have we got up here? Well, the battleships have arrived. The summit is on the field. This is a 150 range monster right here. This is going to reach basically everything. Yeah, the Ravagers do leave a reclaim because the Ravagers hit the target and then just go through it. So they do actually leave reclaim Ravagers, which is a bit wild. But they obviously hit the reclaim of other wrecks. Well, Tagada has caught up in reclaim. Total mass income. Tagada again out front. He's got more income than both the other players combined. Tagada being an absolute monster in this game. He starts to scath this. If only they had Seraphim tech and they could make the YOLO. I think the YOLO is way more effective. Look at that power usage, that's crazy. Now, can they see the battleships yet? No, they can't. They don't know that they're coming yet. But they are. All the megas have red health. Yes, they do. Needs more shields. So many missiles. Just outrageous amounts of missile fire. I mean... literally blotting out the sun, like... terrible. I think they noticed, yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Summits and shield boats. Has anyone ever made it this far? And now they're thinking about making Yenzines and shields. I don't think I don't think even God could make enough Yenzines and shields to deal with that. To be honest. If you could get them out here, maybe, but try getting that through this ridiculous mess. How are you gonna... I mean, Yenzines and shields versus fucking... what? 15 Neptunes? I mean, come on. They don't have Seraphim tech. All they've got is the UEF and Cybran left. You don't have the confidence to break through 15 Neptunes? Okay, so we have a lot more anti-nukes now. We can mark those out. There's some pretty big overlapping rings there. So I don't think there's really going to be any nukes that can get through that. And the reclaim is looking like... kind of looks like a Q, but we've got like a little halo up here. It's weird. But they have recovered so well from that initial crush. Remember that they got absolutely wrecked and they lost half their players on wave 2 or something. Nuke subs. They've just noticed the nuke subs. Yeah, they've noticed that the missiles are spawning out of the sea. Oh boy, yeah, nuke subs. There's like 20 of them. Look how many there is. There is about 40 nuke subs. We did a count earlier. Maybe the Scathis can kill these? Are they too deep? Look how deep they are. I'm not sure if the Scathis can actually kill those. And there's just 18 minutes left to survive. Now, if you did your first ever RTS survival mission, like me, on saving the Marsara colony on the original StarCraft in like 1998 or whenever it came out, oh boy, was that a good game. Making all those bunkers with Marines and the vulture mines. I don't remember what they were called. The little mines that came out of the motorbikes. That was some good shit. But that was actually really quite basic compared to the amount of strategic mindfuckery that's going on in this one. I'm surprised they're still alive. I mean, the missile spam is just brutal. And they're never going to stop coming. It will just be more and more and more and more. You can't Billy nuke any of this either. Like, that's never going to work because of all the TMD on these. I don't know where the TMD is on this. Is it this one? I think it might be this one, but they have really strong... Yeah, it's this cannon here is tactical missile defense. But it's really strong. Where are we at nuke-wise? Well, the nuke launchers... Still only 10k mass in it. Both about 75%. The Scathis, everyone is putting all of their mass into the Scathis, which is a half done now. The Wheelie says it's the easiest survival of his life, whilst being defended by, what, 5, 6 of Turbo's crabs? He's got the power spam here. This is a very nice sim city. There's almost no wasted space. Look at this. Almost zero wasted space between the factories and things. He's got a nice little Seraphim shield here. Oh, taking damage actually stops the regen. Look, 18. And then it's gonna, after a little while, it's gonna start regenning. Yeah, it starts regenning. And then it got lost, and now it's regenning from 0. Poor Harb. Oh, I lost another crab there. It's unfortunate. The battleships potentially aren't going to be able to get into range because there's so much spam here. The missile ships obviously have such ridiculous range that they can just fire from out here. But I think the... Okay, so well, if this one is in range here, then that means the summits are going to be in range like here. Yeah, the summits are in range out here. That's absolute filth. They can basically hit these shields from here. That's such a long range. There is 1 million T2 subs, that's correct. We can obviously see them in our glorious spectator mode where we can see everything. A lot of engineers out slurping that mass right now. How much time has passed? Well, there are 16 minutes left to survive, and it's looking good for them. But how long is that? 2.5 hours of real time they've spent on this game. What the fuck? That's absolute filth. Tagada still has 34 viewers watching his stream. 34 people suffering alongside him whilst he just tries to survive against the AI. Why? Why must we suffer like this? Is this what video gaming has become? Like, you know how games, in some games, being difficult is like, that's like where the fun comes from, right? When you play an easy game and it just spoon feeds you success all the time, like, winning doesn't feel good. That's probably the main thing that, like, drew me to this game in the first place, was that when you win in this game, like, I came originally to Supreme Commander from, like, I think Command and Conquer, and I was really bad at that. I like tried to play, and I tried to repair all of my tanks, never lose a single unit. And when I came here, I realized that you had to basically throw away hundreds of units just to get anywhere, and I just couldn't really do it. I was pretty bad. And so the campaign actually beat me several times. I was dying to the campaign. I don't know how old I was. But I was, when the game originally came out, I basically was dying to the Forged Alliance campaign. Because I didn't understand the expansion. I was trying to do it without spamming loads of units. Didn't understand the economy system. That's what drew me to it, was that it was difficult. I liked the challenge. I liked that you joined the campaign, and instead of the first time I played, instead of being it giving you a few Tech 1 tanks and telling you to move around and make a factory, it just dumped you. Forged Alliance just dumps you into this doomed thing. You have all the technology, and it just goes, yeah, just survive and win, easy, and you just get wrecked by like 30 gunships in the first minute. It was amazing. After that, I obviously went and played a lot of StarCraft. I ended up being, I think I was Masters League in StarCraft on the, in ladder. And then after StarCraft kind of went quiet, I ended up coming back to FAF with obviously a bit more understanding than I had back then. So that difficulty is not a bad thing. Where is the Scathis going to go for? He must be going for the Navy, right? Okay, he's already firing it. He is going for the Navy. Is it really going to do anything, though? Will the Scathis actually kill this? I am not actually sure. And another wave has spawned, and we are on to experimentals. There are Monkey Lords in this wave, so the Monkey Lords will basically be charging in. 3 here, 3 here. Oh my god, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. So many units. And the game drops out to -5. And, yeah. There's like 5 Monkey Lords in each thing, so that's 200 Monkey Lords. Just, there's 40 spawns, right? 40 land spawns? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so there's like 30 times 5. So that's 150 Monkey Lords, plus all of this. And that is a lot of battleships. Like 150 Monkey Lords and like maybe 150 battleships just spawned. There are no additional anti-nukes, but they are nearly loaded. They've still only got 1 at the moment. The Scathis finally starts firing. And yeah, going for that is pretty sensible. The shields here have actually been beaten back quite a bit. The shields are actually blinking on and off, and the accelerator is in danger. So they've had a bit of respite to build their tools and their stuff and reload their nukes, but now the pressure is back on. How did the subs not die to 3 volleys? Well, they did take damage, but they haven't died. The Scathis is firing here. You don't want to be firing the Scathis the same place you're firing the nuke, really. Like, this will be a good spot for Scathis, because it's just going to one-shot the sniper bots and that. Why would you build an Omni, dude? It literally doesn't show that much more. A few subs. Yeah, there's a few subs, I would say. It is the missiles that are actually doing them in. But it's the missiles in combination with the other long-range fire. That's going to get rid of a whole bunch of the battleships. They really did need that. Don't go near the Neptunes. Get rid of the battleships. There is a lot of Monkey Lords. We can't double-click and select them because we can't select the AI as a player, unfortunately. Otherwise, we'd be able to tell you how much they were. Or we could select them and see how much mass the computer has, but we can't do that. Still only 300 mass reclaim on the map, so the players are keeping it in check somewhat. There's a lot of Ravagers been spammed up here, look. But they are dying to missiles from the nuke subs. No TMD over here. They are going to need TMD on this corner. Tagada asks why he has 40 mongoose. I do not know, Tagada. I hope you're not still building those, because that is completely pointless. Yeah, the subs are all still there. They just weren't able to get rid of them with the Scathis. A couple of them did die, but, like, it was not effective at all. Where are the Monkey Lords? Well, they're halfway in. Yeah, time to swap all the Ravagers to experimental priority. That is a good plan. In fact, swapping units to priority is something that's so much more useful than you initially think. There are so many uses for that. Like swapping your Mavor to like ACU priority, or swapping PD when you comm drop and you build lots of Tech 1 PD, double clicking them and hitting engineer priority on those is really strong as well, because you don't have to manually micro them. There's quite a lot of uses for it that you wouldn't necessarily expect. If you don't have that mod, the advanced target priority mod, highly suggest you go and pick that one up from the mod vault in FAF. It's pretty easy. It's just a click thing. You can click it and use it. There's no setting super hotkeys and stuff where it's not required. Well, the spiders are here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got 12 spiders, but they appear to just be napping right now. They appear to be confused by the factory spam. The ones over here not quite so confused. The way that FAF calculates its CPU score has changed with the latest patch today, by the way. It now does take into account your RAM speed, so my CPU score has dropped from like 150 to 130 because the RAM I'm using is quite fast, but you might find that if you've got just lots of RAM and it's quite slow, yours is your score might drop. And by drop, I mean actually get bigger. So you end up with a worse score. The lower the score, the faster your PC is. As long as you're not like, as long as you're not super high, you'll probably be fine. Oh, another crab died. And these mexes are now no longer taken, so they have been pushed back. Are they spending their mass? I mean, there's no full bar here. They kind of are. The wheelie is not. He's stalling. He's got the lowest eco. Their ecos have not really changed actually in the last what is probably 10 minutes of game time, but half an hour for us in our time dilation world. The spiders are just sitting here. They don't seem to be attacking, which is really weird. Because there's so many of them! So I'm guessing they're hiding out of range of the Aeon destroyers. Is that what's going on? Because these should really be firing. Yeah, look how many there are. A small amount of spiders here. No big deal, right? It's a conga. This is like the human centipede, but with Cybrans. What is going on? You can't kill the subs. No, he actually can't kill the subs. The Scathis is not. Yeah, it does go pretty... The water goes pretty deep. You can see over there, the shield bubble actually touches the ocean's floor, so it's pretty big. It's a pretty deep down there. So I guess the artillery, the explosion radius of the artillery blast is not enough to kill the subs unless it lands directly on top of it. And there are just 12 minutes left. Just under 13 minutes to go. Tagada wants to go to sleep. Look at the amount of fire that these... This is enough to kill an experimental in a single volley, but... Why the fat boys are just chilling here, I don't know. Even with that, they're still struggling to survive. Oh, some are moving in now. That's not good.
Strategic launch detected.
Oh, they decided to chill. They're on engineer priority? What are you doing, spiders? Are you drunk? I mean, if these spiders decide to walk in here, I think they just die. Is this going for the battleships again? I suspect it might be. That's a lot of battleships it's going to kill, but I mean, realistically, that's not going to take a lot of the... I don't think that's going to take too much of the weight off. Boom. What a mess. Look at them all bumping each other. Yeah, the spiders are just like... Well, I went to say they were going to chill, and they suddenly decided not to chill. They just suddenly decided there was no chill. Oh no. And even their little cannons on the front, these little guns here would actually do 100 DPS each. Remember, this little gun here is the same as the commander gun. Top is collapsing. Yeah, I think that's to be expected. The problem is that the accelerator is here. If they lose too much... This crap has 200,000 mass killed. Yeah, the spiders' guns are a problem. They're just poking through the shields. What is that from? Is that a Seraphim? Oh, it's a Seraphim battleship as well. The battleships are the problem here.
Strategic launch detected.
The spiders are just slowly moving closer, but they're just dying. They must nuke this. They're gonna lose the accelerator to the battleships if they're not careful. Time dilation drops to us to -5, and that's because another load of spawn, and this time it's GCs and chickens. Oh no, this is a very angry spawn, look. And there's why is there Atlantis are fucking useless in this? Why would you build Atlantis? Oh my god. The nuke is out. Where is it going? Surely up here to kill the battleships. Maybe he's trying to get the missile ships, the battleships, and the torrents at the same time. That would be quite smart. Tagada says he is out of reclaim. There's actually quite a lot around, but I guess... I'm sure it will sort itself out in a second after the... Boom. The spider's still just dying to mass fat boy look. That's what we like to see. Cybran spiders dying to fat boy fire because they're too lazy to move. That's nasty. Spiders with shields. Stealth spiders with shields. It's like they're waiting in turn to attack. It's like, you know, like a Jackie Chan movie where the enemies, like, there's like 100 enemies and they all just sit there and wait. They just wait to fight Jackie one at a time. There's a room of 30 of them and they just come in one at a time. Absolute classic martial arts. That's really bad. They're losing the TMD to the battleships. The spiders come out of the sea, but they've not moved in. He's dying to T3. Oh, T3 mobile RTs. Yeah, there's a lot of mobile RTs here, but not that many of them are actually firing. And they only have 10 minutes left to survive. I wonder where the Scathus is firing. I guess since of the damage, it's actually firing here somewhere. 21,000 mass killed artillery. Let's have a look. They all have so much. $14,000 mass killed there. 18. 21,000. Wow. And the Ravagers are all like huge amounts killed too. $20,000 on these Ravagers. So if you think this survival is easy, you can get your buddies together, host this map. It's called Survival Beach. You have to play it on hard mode, no mods, no assistance. Get through, and we will, I guess, consider you as good, right? As these boys. Whose nuke is doing the best? The nuke challenge, 581, 604. So Turbo has come out on top of the nuke game. And the wheelie has actually increased his mass quite a lot, unless that's reclaim. He doesn't have a... Oh no, the Accelerator Chan. The shields are on and off. That's not good. The two spiders go down there that were advancing. They would have almost certainly killed this crab off. And oh, I forgot that the Cybran missiles bloody split up, don't they? So every one that comes from one of these Plan Bs back here, there's actually 4 missiles that needs to get shot down. That's horrific. So make some nice storms. Look at the conga line of GCs and spiders. So they need to use the chicken storm, the ion storm that spawns when the chicken dies, to do additional damage to all the units. That is going to be absolutely key. I think attack battery could actually do quite well when these are kind of standing a little bit stationary. I think that could... I mean, it's easy to predict where they're going to go. You fire it here. If it doesn't get this one, it's going to get one of these. But maybe the space that takes up and the APM requirement is too high. Storm here is going to kill a whole bunch of stuff. Zapped its own chicken here. Another storm going to spawn here. Looks like he's taking a knee there. That's not a political statement. That's just the way the Seraphim die. Yeah, he got woke and then he got broke there. Look at that. Terrible. There's going to be an additional storm spawn here any second. Any second now. There we go. And that's going to start zapping everything else. In the farm Schleck corner, I mean the wheelie corner, there is so many experimentals here. Again, trying to focus and primary the chickens. But the GCs are getting into range.
Strategic launch detected.
Has anybody in the history of FAF been retarded? I mean, so inclined, perhaps stupid enough to cast a survival game like this? Probably not, right? The nuke going here, yeah, probably this will be better. So many chickens. He has to bring the crabs to the front like that, but obviously when he does that, he's going to take a lot of damage. Linking these storms is great. It's going to be a lot more damage. Definitely want to be killing as many storms as possible. Kill the chickens. Drop storms everywhere. That's actually going to be an absolutely disgusting nuke. It could have been a little bit further back. The accelerator is taking damage again. The shields have gone all of a sudden. There are just 9 minutes left and things are looking really close. Is the area of effect of the battleship weapons going to hit it? Oh, it just took a battleship shot there from a Seraphim. That's a big problem. They will lose if this dies. It doesn't matter what happens to the base. What wave are we on? We're on 16. There's still 2 more waves. Oh my god. There's still too many. There's still 2 waves to go. What's coming in the sea? Well, just more battleships. It's only battleships. Not Accelerator Chan.
Strategic launch detected.
They really desperately need to get shields up there. The Atlantis. Right side is failing. Yeah, there's just too many things in range here. Look at that. Boom. They have managed to get a couple of emergency shields back up, but they're only Tech 2 shields. They've only got 9,000 health. That's only a couple of battleship shots, and that will basically be gone. Still primarying the chickens to try to get those storms going. The area of effect weapon from the death explosion. This chicken just straight up walking through a storm of the one that fell before it. That's some real grim dark walking through the corpses of your comrades before you style these legs? Chicken leg, look. Couple of emergency shields. There's so little build power up here. I really think they need so much more build power around this. This shield doesn't actually even protect the accelerator. Wave 19 coming soon, right? Oh, still on 16, so we're still waiting 2 more waves. I don't know what the final wave will be, but I assume it will absolutely suck. I guess fat boys and crabs is what it's going to be. Maybe with nukes and artillery. The battleships are actually primarying the crab there. That's not good. The shield on this fat boy is down. Trying to shoot that that chicken back here. They do successfully get it. So many ion storms. Look at them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All the ion storms. Yeah, using a scathis on this isn't a bad idea. If they're all firing, that's a major problem, because they will lose all the shields on base. They're losing fat boys, actually. This is actually crumbling. Another fat boy goes down. The battleships are just ruining the crabs. They only have to hold out for 8 more minutes. Is this going to come right down to the wire? Is this going to be really, really close? I hope it's going to be close. You can do it. We've suffered together for 2 hours at this point. They better not lose. The amount of dead spiders. How much mass is on the map to reclaim? A small 3 million. Luckily, these Atlantis are just sitting here being absolutely cock block. They're just big cock blocks. That's what these are. Big, useless metal dildos just ruining everything. I don't know what the experimentals were doing earlier, but they are definitely walking in now. They are not waiting around. A new wave. What do we get this wave? No difference in the water. It's just going to be battleships. But down here, more chickens. Okay. More chickens. So what wave is that? That's still wave 16. So we've still got a whole bunch more. The accelerator is like at 2/3 health. It didn't go to 17. So I don't know if the waves are slightly out of sync, because it did jump up really quickly early on. It jumped up to like 9, wave 9 or something, and only 4 waves had spawned. So I don't know if we're actually just behind, or if it's counting something else, or it's doing multiple spawns per wave. No, it shouldn't. I think it's just out of sync. I think it's just desync. Not desynced in the game, but like the wave counter and the spawns here are not necessarily in sync. Back down to -5. 7 minutes remaining. Please shield poor Accelerator Chan. It's 3 in the morning for these guys. Turbo says, if we don't win, we will do it again. We will the game and play. And Tagager just wants to end his life. The nuke competition, well, that has very much gone Turbo's way. Let's do a count of how much math Tagada has. 1.5 mil his base is worth. What is Turbo doing? Well, his base is worth only 8, only half as much. What about the wheelie? 8, so Tagada's base is currently worth the same as both of these. He has got all the bases. Another experimental goes down, or is that a... no, that's a... They're RAS boys going pop. What are they going pop from? Sniper bots and artilleries. Look at this big bank of artilleries here. They definitely need to get the Scathis on this. The Scathis is currently shelling over here. And that's good. It's definitely working against the shields. Oh, but the shields are kind of taking some of the damage, but that is still good. Dramatic Percy death. Just falls over, look. No storms you can trigger in here. You'll just have to chew through all the hit points on these. Putting the artillery on artillery priority. So many battleships though. Luckily it didn't look like these actually fired any nukes. Now imagine if they had managed to get a Paragon up and then they had made a couple of YOLOs. Like, that would be so much more effective. Like, YOLO would blow up all of this, all of this, all of this, all of this. These balls are still busy spawning. Obviously the experimentals are prioritized so they don't bump into land units, so they're actually counted as above them. And actually experimentals, not only do they clip through other land units, but they actually damage them if they're enemy. So they just straight up just walk through these. The wheelie says he's lost his factories. Taggart says he's lost a whole bunch of Ravagers. The accelerator's taking damage again. Not the shield. I mean, I really think deleting any of these and making T3 shields would be best right now. They have to protect this. How much real time has elapsed? How long have I suffered? I don't know. Hours. Days. Weeks maybe even I've suffered watching this replay. Just 6 minutes remaining. $340,000 mass killed on a fat boy. We're still not on wave 17. It does say wave 17, but I don't think anything additional has spawned. Look at the amount of dead GCs. This looks more like the black hole image that NASA made now than a nice, pretty picture. Six minutes and 19 seconds remaining. Just 3 players left of the original 8 that started. We are on almost the last wave. It says it's wave 17, which means there's 1 wave left. They are prepared for nukes. They actually have quite a lot of anti-nukes loaded. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14. They have 15 anti-nukes loaded. 16, 17 anti-nukes loaded. But this Navy spam is just... I don't think there's anything you can do to stop that. They just have to hold on. The poor crab. The problem is if the crab dies with its massive health regen, then they go onto the shield and things that won't regen. That crab needs to be microed. No! And the death explosion actually cripples the shield as well. They're trying to build T3 shields, but I don't think they're going to finish. They just don't have enough build power right here. I can't hold 180 degrees. And so it's like, bro, oh, it's all 180 degrees. There's only 3 of us left. It took us 3 hours, but now we know who the weak link is. It's fucking Turbo. No, the weak link is Tagada because he can't do more than 180 degrees. Despite having the most eco, the most kills, and the most units, and the biggest base. God damn it, Tagada. Good thing we prepared those SMDs. I don't see any nukes actually yet. The chickens here are actually doing pretty good against their own units by spamming the storms. It does do a lot of damage, as you can see. Now, if only there was some way to watch this back at normal speed, that would be so much better. Turbo says there's no way to get 32 anti-nukes. Fatties North and Crabs or GG, yeah, I think they desperately need more power up top. The thing is, it's not the units, it's not even things that the Crab can hit. It's the battleships and the bloody missile ships that are causing the problem. It's these, back out here. They need to nuke these, but if they nuke them, just more will end up coming in. I think maybe spam Tech 2 shields, because at least you can get them up, and then upgrade the ones behind it, right? That might work. Obviously there's no balance to this game because they're not being matched against each other, and since this official format is technically a free-for-all but where they're working together, there's no ranking on games like this. However, if you do want to compete on survival games or compete in the co-op modes, the story modes missions do have a, and in fact some of the survival ones do have a speed thing you can race, so the fastest completion. You can speed run Forged Alliance technically. Haven't seen anyone really try in real life, but realize that a fatty with full vet is 170 health a second technically, and the mega is 125, so yes, but they can only really recharge one at a time. Unless you're like down here in health. It has so little health. They need more stuff north. That is correct. Building these shields is so slow. These comms are basically AFK. They're using the bubble boys. Bubble boys are great. Is that what it's impacting on? I guess it is some of the time. But they really do need more stuff up here. Just look at all these chickens and GCs. If these come in, they're going to get absolutely wrecked. Keep the megas shooting the chickens. Keep making those storms. That is a good way to do it. The GCs are in range, look.
Strategic launch detected.
Look at this. Absolutely savage, look. Where is the nuke going? Well, the Scathis is going here, which is pretty sensible. I think is if they don't nuke this, they might just die immediately, but they have to protect the accelerator, which means, I guess nuking, I don't know, here? He's nuking the corner. That is questionable. He could kill so much more if it was up here instead. That's going to delete a lot of reclaim. Tago's lost almost all of his PDE, he says. For just 4 minutes remain. That said, the storms from these will cause a lot of damage going forwards. That volley fire from all the battleships, though. And it's straight for the accelerators, like... Oh no, it's actually going for whatever was here. Maybe a shield was here? This is brutal. They've been pushed all the way back. Remember, they were out here not long ago. They've been pushed all the way back to just desperately defending the accelerator. The shield only just protects it, look. The Scathers is just not a good tool for this. The Scathers would probably be better to fire here for a little bit and get rid of some of these units. Yeah, it probably won't do very much. Oh, oh no. Oh no, is this the last wave? Still 17. Oh, it's crabs and fat boys. Oh no. Look at how many there is. Each one has got like 50 experimentals in. It's absolutely cursed. Oh god, why? And look at all the sea donuts as well. Oh, I wish my mouse wouldn't do that. But look at all the sea donuts. It's just penis, donut. Donut, penis, donut, donut, penis, donut. Donut, donut, penis, donut.
Strategic launch detected.
Imagine if there were frigates and destroyers blocking them from getting close. Yeah, imagine, dude. Accelerator is down to half health. What speed are we down to? Like minus 5? Oh, God. That Omen battleship fire is absolutely brutal. They can't even build shields. They need to build shields within their own shields and then start trying to expand, but the damage coming in is so overwhelming that I'm not sure they can really do it. Sending these to build shields here, why not use these? Tagada, are you stalling mass or something? No, you have mass. Please build shields. You must protect Accelerator Chan. You must protect the Wheelie's waifu here. Otherwise she's gonna die. Maybe I should make an Accelerator Chan waifu thumbnail. Losing the Bubble Boys is absolutely terrible. Another big hit on the accelerator. I mean, that just killed so many battleships. But is it enough? Why? There is no surviving this. What kind of cursed filth created this? Suffering. This is like the 12th plane of torment right here. There is surely no surviving this. Look at all the dead GCs, they've just fallen over. Boop. Still no shields on the accelerator. And then nuke launchers have turned up. There's 2, 3, 4 artilleries and 5 nuke launchers. And they have... What? They have 25 million health each, so they can't be destroyed. I'm sorry, I thought this was supposed to be difficult. Can they actually see those? Yeah, nukes. Do they have enough SMDs? Well, they actually have quite a few. But they're going to get double nuke launched, it looks like, for the rest of the game. They only have 2 minutes to survive. Just 2 minutes. If they can survive for just 2 minutes, please build more shields, Tagada. For God's sake. You just have to protect this. Build more shields! One, two. So 2 anti-nukes down, and it looks like it's just going to be constant. Just 100 fat boys and 100 crabs left. Easy, easy. Well, that's not a problem. I guess they will just keep launching. Yeah, I think they probably just will. 2.5 minutes to survive. They're going to run out of anti-nukes. You guys didn't prep enough SMD. That one's empty. 5, 1.
Strategic launch detected.
This is a problem, I would say. $132 fat boys and 132 megaliths. 132 spiders. There's no spiders in here. Oh, there is actually. Look how many there are. There's no surviving this. I don't think you can survive that. You basically just have to live long enough to not die, right? The artillery hasn't started firing yet.
Launch detected.
But when that starts firing, that's going to be even worse. The donuts probably aren't going to get close enough to fire. Maybe they will. The nukes are going for the accelerator.
Strategic launch detected.
So many nukes.
Strategic launch detected.
Down to 40% health. This accelerator's still not shielded. Tagada, please. Tagada, why would you make us suffer like this? Build the shield. I guess he's given up, but he could be spamming shields. If he loses one of these, they're both gonna die. There, he's spamming some shields. That's perfect. Oh, but it wasn't quite in time, so he lost 2 bubble boys there. Didn't really need to.
Strategic launch detected.
Well, the bottom 2 anti-nukes are now empty. What's coming in at the top? It's just more battleships. No change there. Nuclear launches
Strategic
here.
launch detected.
The Tech 1 shields have so little health, that's the thing, that one battleship volley is just going to rip them in half. It's not like these that have 5 times what a Tech 1 shield has. I still feel like mobile shield spam and just spamming Tech 2 shields to try to survive is the best solution. 1 minute 30 left. It's going to be so close. Are they going to run out of anti-nukes? It's going to be so close. Why? Why? I think if the anti-nukes double fire accidentally, it could cost them the game. They have 3, 6, 9... They only have 12 anti-nukes remaining. There's 4 anti-nukes in the air. There's 4 nukes in the air. Nuke the nuke launchers. That's not going to work. They have millions of health. They are literally designed not to be nukeable. Nukes only do like 60,000 damage or something, and this is 25 million health, so... The one thing keeping them in the game is the terrible pathfinding.
Strategic launch detected.
The Scathis is firing south, is that right? No, the Scathis is firing here. The nukes are all just going for Accelerator Chan, who is being protected by her loyal bubble boys. Interestingly, a hit that's close with an AoE blast will actually still damage the tower. If you've got a big circle plate damage and it hits the shield, some of that damage does actually go through it. Oh my god, it's getting late. How long have I been doing this for? 1 minute remaining. Easy win, boys, says the wheelie. Yeah, easy win. I think they've got enough anti-nukes to survive. At least another 60 seconds.
Strategic launch detected.
Can they survive against this amount of units? Absolutely not. Can they survive for another minute without getting crushed to death? Yeah, I think they probably can. I think they will live for another minute. This is the big question. Whether Accelerator Chan will actually just die. Another anti-nuke pops here. Are these in range? Wait, are these in range? That's really bad if those are. They must be because the summits are. Oh, that's terrible. That's a really big problem. I don't see them firing, but if these are in range, they will basically kill the shields in like one hit. They do so much damage.
Strategic launch detected.
Reclaimer power. Tagada, reclaimer power and make shields. You have so much power, you don't need this.
Strategic launch detected.
Just make shields. You must survive. I don't think the bubble boys are enough on their own. Okay, well they're going south. That is a waste of a nuke. We will see if that has a big effect on the game in a minute. 35 seconds remaining. "32 seconds remaining." There's so much fire incoming from those battleships.
Strategic launch detected.
They do get a shield up. Now pop like 10 more in here, but it already drops to like no health instantly from the missiles and everything else. It dies almost immediately. Tagada says he's dead. Yeah, the bases are failing. The crabs are dying. The fat boys are just wrecking everything. Look. Mass nukes. How many nukes are left? There's only 3 anti-nukes left. 1, 2, 3. These nukes will end it. 18 seconds remaining. The next nuke is going to land.
Strategic
That nuke did nothing. Protect Accelerator Chan. 16 seconds. Make shields. That is from a... Oh no. The sea donuts got in range. The sea donuts managed to get in range. 10 seconds. The bubble boys are dying. The bubble boys are all dead. 8 seconds. They can do this. Please. 6 seconds. It's still alive. She's still alive. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. Just 2 more seconds and they can win. No, the sea donut. 2 seconds remaining. Are you fucking kidding me?
It's AT&T Studios for instant replay. There's no Bobby Warshaw, and I'm not going to do a corny intro. We're just getting to it.
No, God! They can win. No, God! Those fucking sea donuts with 2 seconds left on the clock.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
They ran out of anti-nukes anyway. But they would have done it if they'd just kept for Accelerator Chan alive.
commander.
Small 5 million reclaim. Yeah, that was actually the perfect number of anti-nukes they needed. They just... they failed at 2 seconds left. That is the new record for this map. If you think you can survive longer than 59 minutes and 58 seconds, come and try the game. That's got to be the best/worst survival game I've ever seen. Yeah, beach survival, 20 kilometers, no rush is off, full share is on. Let's have a look. Tagada, you absolute monster. You are MVP for today. Not only did you try to save some of the players at the start when they were dying, but you have the biggest score by a million miles. If only you had made a few more shields early on and not lost so many bubble boys halfway through. And perhaps if that nuke hadn't been wasted and it had gone for the... if the nuke had been wasted and it had gone for the sea donuts, or maybe if they'd just made if they'd managed to keep Seraphim Tech and they'd managed to make a YOLO instead of a Scathis, or they'd made a Paragon and then 10 nuke launchers, that would have made their lives a lot easier. But nope, they went hardcore UEF and Cybran land spam to deal with it, and they got crushed. Game time, 1 hour. Actual game time, probably 3 hours. I hope you enjoyed my suffering. That's all I can say. I will try to upload some more stuff in the very near future. Until then, I'll see you next time.
Brutal, savage, wrecked.